Even if you think that it's killing you now, it's all gonna pass. And we usually think about the worst scenarios that could happen, and we get scared and get anxious about our future and get stressed about other people. But when you realize that we're in one planet, and that one planet is part of one galaxy, and there are 33,000 galaxies in the whole universe, you realize that we're all stressing and living in an environment, in a life that we create problems around, and we create anxiety around the things. I believe that any bad moment that you're going through and any tough period in your life will translate into something better. That something better will make a difference in your life. Every time you go through something, there is a light in the end of the tunnel, and I just had a tough day today. I didn't even work out. It's one of the first times I missed a workout, and because I had a tough day. Yesterday my leader was pissed off. I can't even call them leaders. Just these people that accepted positions in my company that become directors or whoever they are. They ask me questions like, what's your job description? Can you send it to me? Which makes me feel that they're going to be letting me go soon. And I've never really experienced that in my entire career. There are certain signs. There are certain signs that I've seen in my career lately. I've never experienced this in my life, that you're going to get let go. Things like your vice president's quitting. Things like your vice president who's above your director just not excluding you from things, and not being nice to you, and trying to kick you out from the team. And I had a conversation with her 2 weeks ago. She was like, you could also be applying externally to your career. And I'm like, who told you that I'm applying externally? Just so she could kind of put fucking things in my mind that to feel that I shouldn't belong in that team or shouldn't belong in that company. And then constantly go after me for if I make a small mistake, not even a mistake, but any disagreement that she has, she always expresses it in a way that it's like, oh, it's your fault. And you're surrounded by people like that on a daily basis, and it makes you feel like all you do is deliver and no one really cares. And I invested so much of my life in this organization because I want to move to New York. And that organization has a massive New York office, and I've never been able to do it. And through time, they've always messed me up around it. Yes, we're going to do it for you. No, yes, we're going to do it now. You can't do it because of this reason and that reason. And now it's another reason again. And you end up in this situation where you're constantly pushing and you're by yourself because you invested so much of your life and career and time into this, and to the point where you can't really quit and can't really leave because you're like at that final lap of actually making it happen. But that final lap is lasting for the last 3.5 years, 4 years, right? So is it time to do it? Is it time to feel better? Is it time to find something different? Is it time to not even work? And I'm going through this right now where I feel like I'm giving so much to other people, but in the end, I'm alone by myself. Friendships is the same, and work is the same, and anything. And if it is no, if you don't have any example of what real issues are in your life, I'll tell you mine. My dad has fourth stage cancer, and I'm thankful that he's been alive for 2 years since his diagnosis, but things could get worse in 4 days, and he could be gone in a week. So I've been living with this for the last 2 years on my mind all the time, and our lives have changed dramatically for the last 2 years. Even though I'm far away from them and I don't live in the country that they live in, but it has changed dramatically because I recognize that I'm probably not going to have a father soon, and I recognize that I want to spend as much time as I can with him because he's somebody that I'm not going to talk about this. I'm going to cut this off. And it's been difficult to know that he's going through this all the time, and I feel bad for him, and I want to spend as much time as I can with him and support him through this tough period. And it's been 2 years like that now. It's going to be 2 years in January, and I've just learned to live like this in my life, and constant anxiety about things, and constant anxiety about the future, and constant what's going to happen in the future, what am I going to do in my life. And I had this goal of mine to move to the US, and it's just not working out, and it's not working out one way or another. It's like I had an opportunity to do it through another small business. They did it for me. We waited 3 years for the visa. They declined the visa. And it's like anything I try, anytime I try, and I just can't make it, and I just can't be around the people that I love and around the place that I love, and so on. And I'm grateful for where I am today. I live in a great place. I live by the river, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I live in London, UK, and it's amazing, and I have made it. I think that I have made it in my life. But the reality is that I'm alone, and I'm going through shit all the time. And I'm all the time going through shit alone, and it's not good, and it's dangerous, and it's not good for you, and you can get into a real deep hole in your life like that. So anything that you're worried and anything that you're feeling that you're not accomplishing, just know that this is a phase and it's going to pass, and you're never going to think about this again, and you look back and you say, oh, I remember when I was stressing about things. And find something that feels that it's purposeful to you. To me, I've been recently into this, and I found that if I believe in God, or if I believe in any religion, I feel that I have a purpose behind everything that I do. And it made me realize that it's good to believe, and it's good to have faith in something, because if you don't, then what's the purpose of your life? If you don't have faith in anything, what's the purpose of your life? So I don't understand people that don't believe, because it makes your life better on earth while you're alive, while you're here. And it has helped me a lot in my life to believe that there's a higher power, to believe that there is a God that can help you out with these things in your life and shit that you're going through. And it helps you. If you don't believe, it makes you negative, and it makes you too realistic, and I believe this is not good for you. Believe if everyone had one thing in their mind, and that's to showcase their values to other people. And religion and God teaches you this, is to imagine if you lived in a world where everyone tries to help each other and everyone tries to be nice to each other, and that's what it is. It's projecting your values on other people. And if your values are being empathetic or loving people, then that's what it is, and you attract others like that. And I know for a fact that what I'm going through right now is just a phase, and I know for a fact that this is going to pass, and I wanted to pass it on to you, and hopefully this helps you out too. But you will see that there's a light in the end of the tunnel. There's always a light in the end of the tunnel. It does not matter what you do, where you are in life, even if you're homeless, even if there's always a light in the end of the tunnel. Things work out. The guy or whoever it is above us has our purpose written on their notebook. And when roadblocks come in your life, just know these are not roadblocks. You will go much higher if you go into the dip. It's like healing a wound. You become stronger and you achieve more and you learn more. And I think about the times when I was 20, and I think about how smart I thought I was, and I realized that I wasn't really. And I thought that I'm a big guy, I'm a this and that. And the other day I was looking at some pictures because I'm creating this video for my parents, and I had to look through videos and pictures for the last 20 years, and I've never really looked at them. And I saw some really weird things there that I did not realize. And like I think I almost got molested by this guy that I didn't even know that he was doing it. I remember in the US, I was 20 years old, 19, right? 18 and 19, I went to the US, and we all think that we know everything. That's why I'm saying that, because we all think that we're like we think with our we think with our heads and move with our legs and plan a lot and think, but you don't know how you can get manipulated by things in your life, whether that's your job, whether that's somebody trying to get something out of you, whatever it is. And being in a relationship as well, my first relationship, I remember how much I got manipulated into believing that I'm not worth it. And I just like look at it right now and I'm like, I can't believe that the person that I was treated me like this. And you realize that after you meet other people, you realize that the world is great on the other end. The world is better. And when you're like this in your life, when you believe that something good is going to happen to you, something good is going to happen to you. It never, ever, ever, ever failed me. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. Even if I get fired tomorrow, like I know things will work out for me. Even if they tell me no, I know that I will turn a no into a yes. And that's just what happens. And that's just what happens. Doesn't matter, even if you struggle for a couple of months, whatever it is, give yourself time. You'll come back stronger. It's been so many times when I've been so stressed at work and I couldn't see anywhere around me. I would just have a tunnel vision of the work that I need to do and the worth that I need to have at work. But in the end, you take a vacation for 2 weeks and then you feel like you're on the top of the world and everything is great and people are great and you meet some amazing people and you could have a lot of opportunities, and then you go back to the manipulation phase where everyone's trying to manipulate you, and you just get bitter and you get shittier and you get scared and you get anxious about the future because people put shit in your mind all the time, and you have to stay away from that. And lately I've been finding a lot that if I stay away from people at work, from leaders at work, specifically high VPs, I feel much better. I don't want to be friends with people like that because they always create some work for you. They always make you do something that you don't want to do because they use people. That's how they are trained in leadership meetings, in leadership courses, to use people and manipulate people and gaslight people. And you're surrounded by these sharks, these horrible people all day, every day that are telling you this and that. You then come back and you feel like you haven't accomplished anything, you don't feel confident, and this, that, and you feel like shit, you feel like you're gonna lose your job. Just know that these people are nobodies. The moment you get out of this work, to close that door from the office, if you see that person on the street, you're not even gonna say hi to them. All these imaginary bosses that you have at work, all these imaginary people, and by the way, I'm saying this to myself so I can feel even more empowered. All these people that you think are your friends and things, when you quit, you realize that you've spent so much time and fear and anxiety on these people that made you feel like shit, that you no longer see ever, that you no longer talk to ever, and you feel like this is your life for a bit, but then it's not. Now, relationships, I do believe are. Like relationships, friendships, I do believe they build your life. Even if you don't see the people anymore, you can look back and have some good memories. From work, tell me one good memory you've ever had from work. Tell me one good memory that from work you had an amazing memory that you remembered and you feel empowered and you feel great. Tell me one thing that you have found. And you realize that all these people that are VPs and whatever, they're scared of their bosses too. They're scared of their bosses too, so they want to deliver. They want to deliver, they push you to deliver because they don't know how to deliver. And then they manipulate you and then they get everything out of you and they cut you off. And if that's not a lesson in your life about manipulation and about being used by people, what else could be? And I prefer to look from the positive side. And even though these things are happening in my life, and even though my dad is sick, even though I'm alone at almost 32 years old in like 2 months, I look at it from a positive lens. I look at it that something big is going to happen. And all this thing that I'm experiencing for the last 10, 12 years, it will be a written book later where I will be in a place where I'm so happy, and I will be in a place that I'm so grateful and surrounded by people that I love and so on. And I'll be doing the things that I love. And I know that this is going to happen. And that's why God keeps me young looking. That's why God keeps me smart. That's why God keeps me strong. That's why God keeps me kind to people and helping others and so on, because I'll always be this. I'll always be myself. And nothing will change. And we continue to stress about life and we continue to stress about work. And then in the end, all you do is you look up and you see how there's nothing. There is a bunch of stars, a bunch of planets, and you're there sitting somewhere in a city, in one neighborhood, stressing about people that you work with in one building that has 1,000 people in it. That in a year you may not even pass by this building ever in your life. And these people stress you so much. There's so much more in life. That's why I wanted to make this video. There's so much more for people to experience. There's so much more to see, and I wish this video has helped you at least a little bit to think about yourself, that you're worth it, and think about yourself that there's nobody else that can tell you shit and make you feel a certain way. When you're nice to people, and when you have friends around you, and when you're kind, and you're empathetic, and you want to help people, and your values are just to be a good person overall, no one can change that. They cannot turn you into a bad person. So don't stress about these things, and they will pass. Any bad things that happen to you, they will pass, and you will be okay. You will be okay. Everyone is okay. Even in the hardest moments in life, when people lose family, people lose loved ones, it takes them a year, 2 years, they step back on their feet and they continue forward, and they live and they live and they live and they live. So I want to leave you with that. I hope you feel better, and I hope this video made you feel at least tiny bit better.